Hey everyone, thanks for being here. So like I mentioned, we're going to focus on some shoulder mobility today within just like a vinyasa flowing sequence. So let's come to Samastitihi with the big toes touching and the heels slightly apart. You can close the eyes if you'd like, taking a couple of deep breaths, allowing for a moment to settle into the body. Notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Notice the breath beginning to slow down as you bring your attention to it. Releasing tension behind the eyes, releasing tension in the throat. Let's bring the palms to heart center and we'll just begin with an Om. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, bring your arms back down to your side. And let's start with Surya Namaskar A. So inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, hands to the mat, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank. Lower the knees to modify. Slowly bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, point the toes, lift the heart from the ground any amount. Exhale into downward facing dog. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. Settling in, establishing the breath in and out through the nostrils. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales as you find a smooth breath. So smoothing out the edges of the breath. Settling in for one more breath. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down through the feet. Reach up through the hands. Exhale, float the arms back down to your side. Again, inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Keep drawing the lower belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Lower the knees or don't as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Keep at least a micro bend into the elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find the breath. And you're lifting up just above the pubic bone. So you feel like a hollowing through the front of the pelvis. And with the tone in the vocal cords for the Ujjayi breathing. Just a tone in the vocal cords without over-engaging the throat. One more breath. Fully exhale. Step or jump into half lift. Press through the feet. Exhale, fold. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet. Drop the tailbone. Lift the rib cage. Exhale, float the arms back down. Again, inhale. Arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Shoulders away from the ears as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the thighs and reaching back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling here. If you want to get into the side body a little bit, you can pivot the heels over towards the left side of the mat and let the hips drop down towards the left side of the mat. And then you'll get a stretch through the right side of the body. Keep reaching through that right hand. You can bend the knees if you want. Just sort of play around with this, feeling into the side body. Breathing into the side body. And then switching sides, pivot the heels over to the right side to stretch the left side. It is optional. I just think it feels nice. And then come back to the center for one more breath. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press through the shoulders. Lift through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And then bringing your attention to the upper back. Spreading the shoulder blades. So you feel like you're wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. And then spread the fingers, press through the hands, and reach the sit bones up and back. So you're lifting the sit bones away from the hands as you press through the hands. And you keep engaging the serratus anterior, which just means that you wrap the shoulder blades actively around towards the front of the body. And you actively widen the upper back. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, float the arms back down. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the right foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, come up into Virabhadrasana, arms over your head. Exhale, frame the right foot, step back into a plank and bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come back down, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, finish the exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Good, settling here. Coming back to the breath. As many times as you need to throughout the practice to come back to the breath, even if it's feels like you're doing it constantly throughout the practice. It's good noticing that you've lost the attention to the breath and then bringing the attention back, each time strengthening that pathway back to presence. Good. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Inhale, step or jump, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, take another Surya Namaskar, bend the knees, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot forward. Inhale, come up, strong legs, press through the feet. Exhale, come back down, step back. Remember, you can always lower the knees if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left side. Back heel down, inhale. Moving with the breath, exhale. Step back, inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. And just take a couple breaths here. And from here, we're going to go straight into Parsvakonasana A. So on your next inhale, you're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands. Lower the back heel. And then bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And then reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. So you're bending into the right knee. And you're pressing through the outside edge of the left foot. That left foot's at 45 degrees. And you're opening to the left side of the mat. With the right hand on the inside of the foot. You could also bring the hand onto a block or the forearm onto the thigh. Good, we'll be here for a couple more breaths, drawing the lower belly in. Keep rooting down through the feet. And now you can stay here. You have the option to take a bind. So, reaching the right arm underneath the right thigh, palm facing out. And then the left arm reaches back to bind the right hand. And then use that bind to really help open the shoulder and open the heart towards the ceiling. Keep pressing through the feet. Good, we'll take one more breath here. If you're in the first version, that's cool too. On your next inhale, we're going to just go into a high lunge to transition. Inhale, transition into Parsvakonasana B. So if you want, you can lower that back knee. On your next exhale, twist over to the right. So bringing the left elbow to the right thigh. You can bring the hands to prayer. Or you can bring that left hand down to the outside of the right foot. This is a deep twist, and we're doing it pretty early on. So if you need to modify or take a less deep version than you normally do, please do so. And if you have that left hand down, reach the right arm straight up. And you can keep the back heel lifted. And then for the last couple of breaths, if you want to take the bind, you can bring that left hand underneath the right thigh, palm facing out, and then the right arm reaches back and around. And that also helps to keep reaching that right shoulder and the heart towards the ceiling, clipping that right sit bone back and towards the midline. Good. On your next exhale, gaze down and release the bind. Frame the right foot. Inhale into a high plank. We really just work that right quad. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's do that on the left side. Left foot forward. Lower the back heel so the right foot's at 45 degrees. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. And reach that right arm straight up towards the ceiling. So you feel this straight line between both hands as they reach away from each other, as you press down through both feet. Feel into the breath, deepen the breath. If you'd like to go for the bind, you can go now, bringing the left arm underneath and the right arm around to bind the left hand. You can also do this with the strap. You can also just stay in the first version with the forearm on the thigh. Good, a couple more breaths. Deep breaths. Keep reaching, spinning that heart towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, move through high lunge. Lower that back knee if you'd like. Exhale, twist to the left. You can also keep that back knee lifted throughout. Hands in prayer. You can also bring the right hand to the floor and the left arm reaching straight up. Deep breaths, feeling into this first deep twist. Clipping that left sit bone back and towards the midline so you're opening up that space between the left side of the hip and the rib cage. Taking the bind if you'd like for the last couple of breaths. Opening the heart towards the ceiling. One more breath. Soft breath. Good. Gaze down. Frame the left foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take a couple of breaths here in child's pose. And then we're going to move into a Digasana sequence. So when you're ready, inhale, bring the left foot forward. Pick up the right leg into warrior three. You can have the hands on the floor, the fingertips on the floor, or bring the hand onto some blocks. You're going to flex the right foot, reach back through the right heel as you draw the lower belly in to hollow the front of the pelvis and spread the lower back as you reach the heart forward. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the chest and bring the right leg out in front of us. Try not to touch the floor with the right leg. Arms over your head, palms facing each other. Keep that right foot flexed, drawing the lower belly in so the shoulders come over the hips. Good, stay with it. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to twist, bringing the right hand either to the outside of the right knee, the left hand to the outside of the right knee, reaching that right arm back, or the left hand catch the outside of the right foot, maybe straightening the leg. Good, finding the balance in this twist. As you reach the right arm back, see if maybe you can drop that right hip. Deep, steady breaths. You're either gazing forward, to the side, or maybe back towards your right hand. One more breath here. If you fall out, just come right back in. Now we're going to go for one more Digasana. Release the knee or the foot. Let that right leg swing back behind you. Lower the chest. See if you can find a straight line between the torso and the right leg. If you need to come, bring the hands back down to the floor or blocked, you can do that. If not, reach the arms straight out. Strong standing leg. Draw the lower belly in. The front of the body is also activating. Maybe for the last couple of breaths, reach the arms forward and gaze forward. One more breath. Exhale. Bring the hands down to the floor. Bend into the left knee. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now we'll do that on the other side. Right foot forward, left leg lifts up. So for this first one, flex the left foot. Try to keep the hips in line with each other. As you reach back through the left heel, press through the right foot. Reach forward through the heart. Keep internally rotating that left leg by pointing the toes straight down towards the ground. Good, let's take one more breath here. Keep the lower belly drawn in. On your next inhale, lift up. Bring the left leg out in front of you. Arms over your head. Keep pressing through the foot. Tailbone is heavy as you reach up through the pinkies. Good, even if you're shaking a little bit, even if you're falling out, coming back, trying again, seeing where you are. Inhale. Exhale, move into the twist. Right hand to the left knee. Left arm reaches back, or catch the outside of the left foot. Maybe straightening the leg. Good, feel the expansion as you twist through the spine. Maybe dropping that left hip, finding a drishti point. Good, stay with it. One more breath. One more Digasana, release the left leg. Let the leg swing back as the heart dips forward. Arms to the blocks or straight out. Good, and keep internally rotating that left leg like we did before, so that left hip doesn't lift higher than the right hip. Draw the lower belly in, spread the lower back. Last couple of breaths, maybe reach the arms forward. Good, one more breath. Stay with it. Good, bend the right knee, inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. If you take child's pose, you can. Just take a moment. We're going to do one more standing sequence before going down to the floor. So on your next inhale, let's come into Virabhadrasana A on the right side. Right foot forward, back heel down. Lift up, arms over your head. You can either have the palms together and gaze up, or palms apart, gazing forward. Strong legs, rooting down through both feet. And then maybe feel the tailbone getting heavy as you square the shoulders forward. One more breath here. I'm going to move into humble warrior. So straighten the right leg, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, reach the hands down and the heart up. You could also grab onto a strap or a towel here. And then as you exhale, bend into the right knee and fold on the inside of the right thigh. As the arms move away from the body, keep the legs strong. Use the exhales to release into the shoulders a little bit more. One more breath here. Inhale into Virabhadrasana B, warrior two. Open the arms, open the hips, gaze over the right hand. Good, keep bending into that right knee. Tailbone is heavy. Relax the shoulders, relax the muscles in the face, soften the gaze. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, straighten the right leg into reverse warrior. So let that the left hand slide down the left leg. As you bend into the right knee again, reach the right arm back towards that left foot, towards the back of the mat. You can have that left hand on the left leg, or you can wrap it around to bring the left hand over towards the right hip crease. Keep bending into the right knee. Keep reaching through the right fingers. Good, stay with it. One more breath. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more side and then we're going to the floor. Left foot forward, back heel down. Virabhadrasana A. Good. Set up your foundation. Feel the feet rooting down, the arches lifting, the tailbone getting heavy, the lower belly drawing in, the rib cage lifting, the pinkies lifting. So you have all these downward moving actions and all these upward moving actions supporting one another. On your next inhale, straighten the left leg, interlace the fingers. Inhale again, and then as you exhale, bend into the left knee and fold on the inside of the left thigh. You can play around with how it feels different when you move the torso really close to the inner thigh and then a little bit away from the inner thigh. Just maybe exploring that range a little bit if that's available to you. Relaxing the shoulders, keeping the legs strong. One more breath here. Inhale into Virabhadrasana B. Open the arms. Gaze over the left fingers. Good, if the leg is burning, just feel into that. And soften where you can. The shoulders, the face, the gaze. Good. One more breath here. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Let that right hand slide down, or you can wrap it around. Exhale, bend into the left knee again, and reach back through that left hand. So we're getting a side stretch again. Dropping the tailbone and bending into the knee. It's like you're bringing your sit bones underneath you, and that might deepen the side stretch a little bit. Stay with it. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Or you can just sink the knees to the floor, cross the shins, and sit back behind the feet. Dandasana, straighten the legs out in front of you. Legs straight, flex the feet, press through the heels, and bring the hands next to the hips as you drop the chin. Finding a straight spine, feeling that lift of the belly up and out of the pelvis. Keeping the rib cage expanding, the upper belly expanding. Settle into the breaths, feeling the residue from the standing postures. Smooth, steady breathing. Let's take one more breath here. Good. Release that. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes or keep the fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold forward. Keep the feet together. Can you soften the shoulders and the neck and the face as you keep the legs strong? 2 more breaths. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Point the feet. Tuck the tailbone under as you bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. For Purvottanasana, if you'd like, you can bend the knees and plant the feet instead. On your next inhale, reach the toes forward as you lift the pelvis, lift the heart. And if the neck feels okay, drop the head back. Good. Keep the feet together if the legs are straight. For 3, lift the pelvis. Press through the shoulders. For 2. And 1. Slowly come down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift up. Or you can drop the feet and bring the hands in front. Step back into a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through. Sujana Shirshasana on the right side. So bend the right knee. Let the knee fall out to the side. Inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, fold. And again, catching the foot, or you can have the fingertips on the floor alongside the leg. Left leg is strong, and you're relaxing around the right hip. Two more breaths. And inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Let's come into a side stretch. So you're going to pivot the torso towards the right knee, and then you're going to bring your left hand down to the floor, perpendicular to the left leg. Or bring the left elbow down to the floor. Again, the forearm perpendicular to the left leg, and the elbow kind of ends up just behind the knee. And you're going to press through the elbow or press through the hand to rotate the torso and reach the heart towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm up as you press through that right sit bone so that you're pressing that right hip down into the mat. So you want to feel into the side stretch. And then maybe you're reaching over towards the left toes, maybe not. Keep dropping the tailbone. Keep pressing through the left hand or the left elbow as you spin the torso towards the ceiling. And then look wherever it feels good for the neck. Don't strain the neck. Good. If you want the elbow on the floor but it's too deep, Then you can also bring the elbow to a block, the forearm to a block. Good for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, come out of that. Good. Let's switch sides. Let's go straight into the other side just to save a little bit of time. Bend the left knee. Let the knee fall out to the side. Inhale, square the shoulders over the left leg. And exhale, fold. Again, right leg is strong. As soon as that right leg stays strong, then other parts of this posture can release so that it can feel more integrated. And like the body is working together to hold this form. But it starts with the foundation, through that right leg, through the right foot. Good. 2 more breaths. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release that. And let's come into that side stretch. So either reach the the right hand towards the left side of the mat. Palm down or elbow down to spin the torso towards the ceiling as you drop the tailbone and press the left hip onto the mat. Reach the left arm up or over the head. Keep your foundation strong. Now you also have the right hand or your right elbow pressing down to really stabilize the foundation. Feel that side body stretch for 3, 2, don't strain the neck, and 1. Inhale, come out of it. Let's take a vinyasa, cross the shins. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated straight legs. We're going to do Ardha Matsyendrasana. So bend the right knee and cross it over to the outside of the left leg. So the foot's somewhere in line with the left knee. And then you have the option of staying here, or you can bend the left knee so that the left foot ends up next to the right hip. And then for the twist lift, reach the left arm up and over as you drop the tailbone and round the spine into the twist. And you can either have the left elbow to the outside of the thigh in either one of those 2 versions, or you can slide the outside of the left shoulder to the outside of the right knee and catch the inside of the right leg, or the right foot. Kind of gets confusing with lefts and rights. So the left palm is facing down and it reaches on top of the right foot to catch the arch of the right foot. And then that right hand can either be behind you on your fingertips or wrapping around and reaching towards your left hip crease. Good. So you can be in this Ardha Matsyendrasana or this Ardha Matsyendrasana. We'll take about 3 more breaths wherever you are. Drawing the lower belly and keep the tailbone heavy as the heart keeps lifting up. Good. Smooth, steady breaths. 1 more. Release that. Keep your legs where they are. We're going to transition into Gomukhasana. So you're going to bend both knees and cross the knees. So the right leg should be on top of the left knee. Good. So as much as you can, you cross the knees. But if that's not happening, you just approximate it as much as possible. Now we're going to move into the Gomukhasana arms. Reach the arms to the side. Spin the left thumb down. Bend the elbow so the hand comes towards the in between the shoulder blades. Palm facing out. And then the right hand, thumb points up. Reach the arm up. Bend the elbow. Palm facing towards the body. And then maybe you bind. Maybe you have a strap to make your arms a little bit longer. If you aren't binding and you don't have a strap, just reach the hands towards each other. And then everyone, let's wrap the right elbow in towards the side of the head as you reach the elbow up towards the ceiling. Maybe you gaze up. Good. Keep the tailbone heavy. Draw the lower belly in for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release that. And now let's just switch sides. So straighten the legs. And then let's come into the other side. We're going to bend the left knee, cross the foot over to the outside of the right knee. Good. So you stay here, or I kind of need to like lean over to the right side a little bit to bend that right knee and then place the hip back down so that the right foot ends up on the outside of the left hip. Good. And then choose your arm position. I like to reach the right arm up to move into the twist, and either just bringing the right elbow to the outside of the thigh or closing that gap and reaching the right hand over the left foot to catch the arch of the left foot. That left arm can be behind you or reaching back towards the right hip crease. Deep, steady breath, maintaining the breath, maintaining the pace of the breath. Good for 3, 2, 1. Release that for Gomukhasana. So bringing the left knee over the right knee. Reach the arms to the side, and now the right arm comes underneath and the left arm comes from above. Maybe taking the bind. Maybe using a strap to bind. Keep the tailbone heavy. Draw the lower belly and lift the heart. Good. And then maybe feeling that left elbow wrapping in and reaching up. Maybe gazing up. Deep, steady breaths for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release that. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. Roll over the feet or lift up. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come onto your knees for a tabletop position, and we're going to thread the needle. So starting with reaching the right arm up. Inhale, press through the left hand. Exhale, you're going to reach that right arm underneath and through towards the left side, but don't lower down to the mat. And again, inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, thread the arm through. Reach as far as you can towards the left. Again, inhale, let's do that 3 more times. So we're trying to bring more mobility into the upper spine. Exhale, reach the arm through. So keeping the hips in line with each other, just moving the upper spine. Inhale, 2 more, reach up, moving with the breath. Exhale, reach through. Last one, inhale. And exhale on this last one. We're gonna lower down to the floor, make it a little bit more passive. So you can keep the right side of the head on the floor. And then you can either keep that left hand where it was, or you can reach the left arm over your head. Moving into the upper spine, keeping the hips in line as much as you can, and just softening into the thoracic. Deep breaths. Good, about 2 more here. Softening with each exhale. Good, slide that left hand back if you reached it forward, back into a tabletop. To the left side, inhale, reach the left arm up, press through the right hand. Exhale, reach the left arm through. Good, again, inhale. And exhale, reach it through without touching the floor. Inhale, 3 more. Exhale, keep the hips in line. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, reach it through, and then place the left hand on the mat with the palm facing up. Good. Maybe you reach that right arm over your head. Use the breath. Deepen the breath. About 2 more breaths here. Good. Make your way into a tabletop position. Good. Now let's bring the forearms down to the floor so that the forearms are parallel to each other. And let's come to a dolphin position. So tuck the toes and like you're in downward facing dog. So relax the neck and gaze back towards the feet. You can bend the knees here if you need to. As you press the elbows down and forward, reach the hips up and back, just like in downward facing dog. So we're going to keep moving into the shoulders here. Good. For 3, keep pressing the shoulders down and back, down and forward. For 2, legs can be straight or bent. Good. 1 more breath. And now you're going to shift the gaze forward and walk the feet a little bit closer towards the elbows. Come onto your tippy toes. Gaze in between the forearms. For 5, press through the shoulders. For 3, 2, keep pressing through the elbows, pressing through the shoulders. 2, and 1. Come down into a child's pose. Good. We're going to do that 1 more time. So going from dolphin, kind of going into like stretching the shoulders into like that Pinchamayurasana prep where we're engaging the shoulders. So elbows to the floor, forearms parallel to each other, tuck the toes, gaze back towards the feet. And we'll hold dolphin. So press the elbows down and forward so you're moving into the shoulders. Legs can be straight or knees can be bent. And either way you're reaching the hips up and back. Good. Deep breaths for 3, 2, 1. Gaze forward, shift the gaze between the forearms, walk the feet a little bit closer onto your tippy toes. Again, the knees can be bent if they need to, but you're pressing through the elbows. For 3, 2, hold it. 1 more breath. Good. Bring the knees down. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into puppy pose. Come onto your knees. And you have some options with puppy pose. You can either just reach the arms straight out, keep the arms straight as you bring the forehead towards the floor, or the chin and the chest towards the floor. Or you can do puppy pose with the elbows on blocks. If you usually do one version, you want to try another version, that's kind of fun. And the palms together. You can also do this with the elbows straight on the floor. And then the forehead comes to the floor and the palms come in between the shoulder blades as you sink the heart towards the floor. And if you want to deepen the external rotation in the shoulders, you can bring the palms away from each other so that the fingertips are touching. Use the breath to settle in. If you feel like a pinching in the shoulders, then maybe you're going a little too far. Maybe you need to activate it a little bit by engaging the serratus anterior by actively wrapping the shoulder blades. Be here for about 5 breaths. Good, one more breath. Good, gently come out of that. And then we're gonna make our way onto our stomachs. Good, you're gonna reach the arms straight out into cactus arms. So bend the elbows so that the elbows are at 90 degrees. And then we're gonna bend the left foot, bend the left knee, and then you're gonna bring that left foot over to the outside of the right leg. So we're kind of stretching into the right shoulder. And the pelvis is gonna lift off the floor. Maybe the foot can be flat on the floor. And then I like to use my left arm like on my fingertips to help me kind of like ease in and out of this. So like depending on like how far back the pelvis moves towards the right side of the mat, it kind of depends on how deep you're in this. So kind of ease into this, kind of stretching a new part of the shoulder here. Use the breath. Good, about 2 more breaths here. Good, exhale, come back to your belly. Let's do the other side. Keep the left elbow bent, bend the right knee, and then start to bring that left foot over to the other side. See where can you soften. Couple more. And exhale, come back to your belly. Plant the hands next to the chest. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, let's shift into a high plank. Exhale, come all the way down to your bellies again. Let's come into a sphinx pose. So bending the elbows and bring the elbows underneath the shoulders or a little bit in front of the shoulders. And we'll just actively hold this for about 5 breaths. So engage the legs, lift the kneecaps, and feel the elbows dragging back towards the hips. Keep lifting the heart. Good. For 3 more breaths, deep breaths. 2. 1. Moving into Dhanurasana, bend the knees, flex the feet, reach back, catch the ankles. Fully exhale. Inhale, lift the thighs, lift the feet, lift the heart. If you'd like, you can point the toes, and then maybe bringing the feet together if the lower back feels okay. Good. Keep kicking the legs as if you're going to straighten the legs, so really activating the legs. For 3, 2, and 1. Soften the knees. Plant the hands next to the chest. Inhale into upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Let's jump through to seated. Exhale. Lie down on your back. And bend the knees, plant the feet. First, we'll do a bridge pose, just to warm up into the spine a little bit more before Urdhva Dhanurasana as an option. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward, the knees forward. Inhale, press through the feet and lift the pelvis up. Feel the front of the body lengthening, reach the knees forward. Lift the pelvis up for 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll down the spine. Now you can do bridge pose again, or you can do Urdhva Dhanurasana. And a fun little thing to try with Urdhva Dhanurasana is placing your hands on blocks, especially if you want to give the shoulders a little bit more space. So I'm just going to place my blocks here towards the top of the mat, about shoulder width apart. And then you lie back down and bring the hands to the blocks. And you might not be able to bring the hands to the blocks like from the beginning. Maybe you can, but it requires a lot of flexibility in the wrist to do that. So maybe you plant the hands onto the block as you move into it. So we're going to inhale, come up. Maybe you can stop on your head, or you just can go straight up into it. Make sure the feet are parallel to each other. And now I realize I want my blocks a little bit further away from each other. So maybe you come out of it, move them, and come back into it. And then maybe you can explore straightening the legs so that the torso comes over the hands. So you're going to really get into the shoulders and into the upper spine. Ease into it. As you move deeper into the shoulders, you want to spread the shoulder blades, so widen the upper back. Maybe you need to bend the elbows a little bit to think about moving the elbows towards each other. And then when you need a break, you can come out of it and then go in for round 3. You could also just do this with the hands on the floor. Inhale, come up. And you can have the fingertips pointing straight back, or you can angle the hands a little bit out. Good. Maybe you bring the feet closer to the hands. You press through the feet to feel the sacrum lifting, and then gently straighten the legs to shift the chest back. Good. For 3, deep breath. Try to hold it in that end range position. 2, but stay active there. Press through the palms. 1 more breath. And then exhale. Slowly come down. Good. Okay. Hug the knees into the chest. Might really feel the shoulders at this point. Good. Let's rock up to seated. And let's take a forward fold. Straighten the legs. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold over the legs. Slowing down the breath. Good, just a couple more here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Good. Let's lie down on our backs. We'll take a couple shoulder stands. Bring the feet over the hips. You can stay here. You can come into the full shoulder stand. I like to bring my legs into halasana first to really shrug the shoulders away from the ears. And then bring the hands to the back and reach the feet up. Maybe moving the chin away from the chest if you need that extra support in the neck. Strong legs, reaching the toes straight up. Slowing down the breath. Deepening the breath. One more. Good. On your next exhale, bringing the feet over the head for halasana. If the feet touch, interlace the fingers, straighten the arms. You can also do all of these postures with the hips on the floor. Keeping the spine straight, lifting the sit bones towards the ceiling. Karna Pidasana, bend the knees round the spine. Good, release the hands and slowly roll down the spine. As the hips touch, slowly lower the legs towards the floor. And then once the feet land, catch the back of the thighs, press into the elbows, lift the heart and bring the crown of the head to the mat for Matsyasana, fish pose. Keep pressing through the elbows to bring the shoulder blades towards each other and to lift the heart. Lift through the sacrum, lift through the entire spine to open the front body, open the throat. Feel the rib cage expand on the inhales. One more breath. Catch the back of the thighs, press through the elbows and tuck the chin. Good, let's make our way into Shavasana, final resting pose. So you can separate the feet, move the arms away from the body, and just do whatever you need to do to get really comfortable so that you can completely relax. And feeling the back side of the body making contact with the ground. Feeling the support of the earth. Scanning the body. Noticing tension that's left over. You can stay here longer if you'd like, but if you're ready to move out of it, start to wake up the body, make small movements. Deepen the breath. You can reach the arms over your head for a full body stretch. Exhale, bring the knees to the chest. And fall over to the right side of the body. Good. Slowly make your way back up to a seated position. And we'll just take one final moment here. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. Just one last moment to feel into the residue from the practice. Feel into the body. Settling. We're taking one last deep breath. Let's bring the palms to heart center, and we'll finish with an Om. Inhale, deep breath in. Thank you, everyone.